Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Matt O'Donnell, Tamala Edwards, Karen Rogers, and meteorologist David Murphy.
Good morning. We are following several breaking stories here on this Thursday, April 30th. Police have recovered a car. They think this is the vehicle that slammed into a Temple University student, leaving her fighting for her life. We're live with the details.
Protesters will take to the streets of Philadelphia today in support and solidarity of the demonstrations in Baltimore sparked by the death of Freddie Gray.
A 15-year-old has been recovered alive in the earthquake rubble in Nepal. He's been trapped for almost 5 days.
Amazing story there. Good morning, everyone. 4:30 on this Thursday. Let's go right to David and Karen for weather and traffic.
And we are off to a decent start today. You see a little bit more cloud cover dancing around the region than yesterday, but it does look like we'll start out fairly bright. And then later today, a couple of sprinkles and showers are possible, especially later in the afternoon. Temperatures this morning, not too bad. 53 in Philadelphia, 49 in Allentown. Pretty similar numbers to what we've had the last couple of mornings. We've slipped to 48 in Millville and Trenton, still holding 57 in Sea Isle City and along the boardwalk in AC. As we head out the door this morning to catch that school bus, it looks okay, partly cloudy, a little cool, 50 by 6 o'clock, and by 8 o'clock, 55 degrees on the bus stop. And then as we move ahead toward the rest of the day, it is going to be a little bit cooler than yesterday. 53 degrees right now on the Storm Tracker 6 app, 55 by 8, by noon 66. And then it looks like we'll get a high of 69 kind of early in the afternoon, say around 2 o'clock, before sliding to 68 by 3 and 63 degrees by 6 o'clock. A little bit on the breezy side today, not too bad breeze-wise. And as we take a look at the pollen count, still running medium high today and tomorrow. We'll slip a little bit on Saturday, partly because of the ocean flow. We're not really looking at a lot of rain. Had we had some steadier rain, we would see those pollen counts go down a little bit farther. Maybe a sprinkle this afternoon, Karen. I'll have more on that on Future Tracker 6. Taking a look in a couple of seconds.
All right, we can handle maybe a sprinkle. Let's look outside live on the Vine Street Expressway. You see the cones set up just past the Schuylkill. We've got the left lane block. Should be in the process of clearing out, but watch for that construction right now. Still with the cones out and that left lane block. Not causing a delay because it's early and not that many people out and about just yet. Looking at the big picture, I-95 northbound near Cottman, we had construction there. It is also clear, so things looking better there right now. And issues here in Wissinoming, and the action cam was on the scene with that, causing problems this morning. And Tackawanna Street near Comley Street, you want to watch for the sinkhole. That's an issue there. And you can see that they've got the cones out, and there's the size of it with the tape wrapped around it. So look for this. You stick to Charles Street and Harbison Avenue instead of Tackawanna Street and Wissinoming section of the city. Newcastle County 495 southbound between DuPont Highway and I-95, construction blocking the 2 left lanes. That's out there for about another half an hour. Matt.
All righty, Karen, thanks. We begin with breaking news this morning. Police say they have recovered the car that slammed into a Temple student while she was on her bike last night. The driver's whereabouts are still unknown. Action News reporter Catherine Scott is live at Temple Hospital with these breaking details. Catherine?
That's right, Matt. Investigators have located that car, but so far no one has been taken into custody. Meanwhile, the family of that 22-year-old Temple University student from Mullica Hill remain here at the hospital by her side. She is in critical condition. A hit and run in North Philadelphia. The search is on for the driver. Surveillance cameras capture the silver Mitsubishi Galant moments before police say it hit a 22-year-old Temple University student on a mountain bike around 7 p.m. at Park Avenue in Diamond.
The vehicle, according to witnesses, initially stopped after striking this female on the bike. Then it sped off west on Diamond, then north on Broad Street.
The student suffered severe head trauma and was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Accident investigators gathered evidence at the scene and spoke to witnesses who told police that 3 young men were in the car.
We're getting initial information that after the vehicle stopped, possibly the passenger in the rear seat encouraged the driver to leave the scene.
Again, the driver abandoned that vehicle and police now have it in their custody. They say they do have a person of interest that they're looking for. If you have any tips, police want to hear from you. We're live in North Philadelphia. Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action News.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. And now to the latest on a city on edge. As early as today, Pennsylvania could deploy nearly 300 state troopers to Baltimore. They would be part of an emergency management agreement with Maryland. Governor Tom Wolf made that announcement yesterday. As well today, there are plans for a protest right here in Philadelphia. It's being organized by the Philadelphia Coalition for Real Justice. According to the group's Facebook page, more than 1,000 people plan to attend the protest at Dilworth Park. Philadelphia police are aware of the planned demonstration. And Freddie Gray's death has sparked demonstrations around the country as protesters from the White House to Minneapolis to Houston stand in solidarity with Baltimore. The largest protest by far was the one that happened in New York City. What began as a peaceful demonstration at Union Square last night descended into pockets of chaos. At least 30 people were arrested as night fell. ABC's Bazi Kanani is live in Baltimore with more on an internal report into Gray's death that will not be made public. Good morning, Bazi.
Good morning, Tam. There were no reported problems here in Baltimore overnight. City officials say the extra security and that curfew are working, and residents here are relieved.
No racist police.
Still taking to the streets their demands for justice.
We stand as a nation. We fight for our rights.
Protests against the alleged police assault on Freddie Gray, who died of a fractured spine after his arrest, spreading from Baltimore City Hall to the steps of the White House.
This is what democracy looks like.
To New York City, where police arrested protesters blocking traffic. But back in Baltimore, peace prevailed on a second night of curfew enforced by 2,000 National Guard troops and 1,000 police officers after the city erupted Monday into rioting, looting, and arson.
People are picking up bags and brooms and cleaning up. Parents are keeping kids at home and off the streets.
The Baltimore Symphony playing an outdoor concert as calm returns to the city, but precautions still in place. The stands empty Wednesday at Camden Yards. A Major League Baseball game closed to the public for the first time ever. And that mother seen in this viral video angrily going after her son after seeing him in the crowd with a rock says her teen has learned a humbling lesson.
I trust that he'll understand at the end what I did was not for the cameras, but was for the love that I have for him.
Protesters will have to keep waiting to find out more about how Freddie Gray got hurt. The Baltimore Police Department will hand over the preliminary results of its investigation into Gray's death to the state's attorney's office tomorrow, but the details will not be made public at the time. In Baltimore, Bazi Kanani, Channel 6 Action News. Matt?
All right, Bazi, thanks so much. Good Morning America will have much more on the nationwide protests and what is happening in Baltimore right after Action News at 7 a.m. Happening today, a court appearance for Monsignor William Lynn, the local Catholic clergy member whose criminal conviction was reinstated this week. Monsignor Lynn was the first church supervisor in the country ever prosecuted or convicted over how child sex abuse complaints were handled. He served 18 months of his initial sentence, and then his conviction was overturned and he was released. The state Supreme Court ruled on Monday that the conviction should stand. A judge will hear arguments today about whether Monsignor Lynn should return to prison.
Philadelphia police are investigating a triple shooting on West Oak Lane. Investigators say at least 2 people opened fire at East Johnson and Rugby Streets last night. The bullets hit 3 young men, ages 18, 19, and 20. They're in stable condition. Police took one potential suspect with a gun into custody a few blocks away. So far, he has not been charged. And a man who police say barricaded himself inside a Delaware County home surrendered peacefully overnight. Chopper 6 HD flew over a police standoff in Upper Providence. Police say the man locked himself inside a home in the area of Beatty and Crum Creek Road around 7:30 last night. After more than 3 hours, he was taken into custody without incident. Police are still investigating and no charges have been filed.
Happening today, the NFL draft begins. The Eagles have 8 picks, beginning with the 20th pick in the first round. And you may have your own thoughts on whom the Eagles will choose. The team has needs at safety, cornerback, and receiver. ESPN ranked Central Florida's Brashad Perryman, a big wide receiver, as the 20th best prospect. Michigan State's Trey Waynes is considered the best corner in the draft. Alabama safety Landon Collins could also be a good fit. Join the Action News sports team tonight and tomorrow for our draft breakdown after Action News at 11.
4:39 now and still ahead on Action News. The Apple Watch may have a problem with your ink.
Some parents and school leaders in Tennessee are outraged because students were served meat that may have been 6 years old. David.
Well, if it was in the freezer, yeah, okay. All right, so we got some jackets on the kids this morning because once again, temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. This afternoon, t-shirts, yeah, not quite as warm as yesterday, but probably pretty appropriate. We'll be back with Future Tracker 6. Look at the possibility of some showers today and the rest of your 7-day. That's coming up.
Welcome back. We've got you live here on the scene of some breaking news, a new video just into the newsroom. Actually, this is some video that just came in. Fire gutted a leather repair business in the Tioga Nicetown section overnight. The action came on the scene on the 3800 block of Germantown Avenue around 3:30 this morning. That fire also damaged a vacant home above the business, but thankfully nobody was hurt.
Seen some local fire departments around here warning of fire dangers because it's really been so dry.
It has been dry, yeah, and it doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of rain the next couple of days, even though there is a coastal system. It's a little bit too far away from us for that. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan this morning shows us that we are dry again for your morning commute. There's always an upside to that, I suppose. And as we take a look outside, we have the airport dry and not a lot of wind, so the camera not shaking around this morning. Very similar morning to the last couple of mornings, except that there might be a little bit more cloud cover around. 53 degrees is your current temperature in Philadelphia. Your dew point down at 45. Winds are light in the single digits at 8 miles per hour currently in Philadelphia. As we roll through the day, it does look like we'll start out with a fair amount of sunshine, but you can see how Future Tracker wants to throw a few more clouds in by noon and then keep us in a clouds and sun mix the rest of the way. By 3, 4, 5 o'clock, there might be a little spotty light sprinkle or shower around too, but most of you obviously are going to miss out on that. And then by 10 o'clock tonight, dry with maybe a few more clouds beginning to dig in. As we roll through the day, it looks like a mix of clouds and sun, perhaps a few more clouds later on. 55 degrees by 8 o'clock, 63 by 11 o'clock, and then we hit a high of 69. That'll be fairly early in the day at 2 o'clock, and with a flow coming in off the ocean, that'll help bring us down to 65 by 5 o'clock, and we'll actually be even cooler than that for a high tomorrow. As we take a look at high temperatures today across the region, 65 in Allentown, 66 in Reading, the mid-60s in Trenton, upper 60s in Philadelphia and Wilmington and Dover, 66 in Millville, and down the shore a little bit cooler. Atlantic City probably only getting up to about 61 degrees this afternoon over by the water. And then tomorrow we are continuing to watch that area of low pressure that we talked about yesterday push away from us off the coast. It will be spilling some cooler air in off the coast though, and that will hold our temperature tomorrow, the high temperature, to 62 degrees, and again a chance for at least a couple of sprinkles or showers around. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day, clouds and sun today, 69 degrees, cooler than it was yesterday, mainly dry. And then cool with a spotty shower possible in a couple of neighborhoods on Friday. Certainly not a washout, and some of you may not see any rain at all tomorrow. Tomorrow's high just 62. But we're still looking at that nice bounce back for the weekend. On Saturday, 70 degrees on the nose, milder, nice in the afternoon for the Union game at 4 o'clock. And then sunny and warm on Sunday. We're now going for a high all the way up to 78, and we'll have temperatures in the 50s and 60s in the morning for the Blue Cross Broad Street run. On Monday, sunny and very warm, 82 degrees. It now looks like a pretty good bet that we are indeed going to break into the 80s early next week. Tuesday, still warm, 84 degrees, and if we get a shower or thunderstorm, it probably isn't until nighttime the way things look now. Then Wednesday, more clouds around, 79 the high, and another shower is possible on Wednesday. So a little unsettled the middle of next week, but really warm.
Okay. We'll be ready. Thanks, David. New on Action News here, a picture of a pork roast that was served at a school cafeteria in Tennessee. Hawkins County leaders say the meat was from 2009. It sat in the freezer for, about 6 years before being served last week. It is not clear if it was tainted meat, and there are no reports of any students getting sick. County leaders claim a school cook told a supervisor the meat was bad, and the supervisor said cover it with gravy to give it a better taste. A mom in suburban Denver has gone public with a note from her daughter's teacher explaining why the teacher wouldn't let the little girl eat the Oreos in her lunchbox. Lisa Pearson of Aurora says she packed a sandwich and cheese along with the cookies. When 4-year-old Natalie returned from school, she had a note from the teacher beside the unopened Oreos, and it said parents should pack a nutritious lunch that includes a fruit, a vegetable, and a healthy snack. Pearson says the school took things too far. The dean says the note is not school policy and intends to have a conversation with Natalie's teacher.
And taking a look now at morning business. Tattoos, very popular out there, but that can mean some trouble for the Apple Watch. Some customers complain that the ink, as you see on that person's wrist there, interferes with the heart rate sensor in that watch. It gets in the way of the infrared lights. You can turn off the wrist detection feature, but then that impacts other features like being able to make a call or use Apple Pay. Berks County-based Penn National Gaming is buying the iconic Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas for $360 million. The Tropicana first opened back in 1957. It posted a $19 million loss last year. Let's take a look at Wall Street. Stocks slid on Wednesday on reports that the U.S. economy barely grew in the first quarter. And right now, futures do look like they are also pointing to yet again a lower open. This is the talk for the weekend. The highly anticipated Mayweather-Pacquiao fight is this Saturday in Las Vegas. It'll cost you nearly $100 if you want to sit on your couch and watch it on pay-per-view. You want to go out and watch it to a place like Buffalo Wild Wings. They've got bars all over the tri-state. They say it will cost you $20 just to get in. That's before you buy any beer, any wings. But people are saying this is the fight of the century. I'm hoping for Pacquiao.
It could be a big moneymaker for Buffalo Wild Wings.
It could be.
Yeah. 4:48, and we'll have breaking overnight developments from Nepal. Another dramatic rescue takes place nearly 5 days after the devastating and deadly earthquake.
And a Trenton mother is outraged. Her 4-year-old son left on the school bus for 6 hours. She wants answers when Action News continues.
Good morning. Time to check the traffic out. We're looking live on a dry morning. This is the Vine Street Expressway past the Schuylkill. We still have this left lane blocked with construction right now. It's not causing a problem because it's early. Camera's shaking a little bit. That may be causing you a problem, though, but the traffic's not. It should be clear pretty soon out there. We do have an issue here on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It's westbound just past Bensalem. You want to watch for construction out here blocking the right lane, but speeds like 65 miles an hour with this early volume. You're looking okay there. Turnpike eastbound past Morgantown, construction here is just cleared. Was blocking the left lane, but now we're all open. Northeast extension both ways past Quakertown, construction blocks the right lane, and southbound near Lansdale blocking the right lane. So those crews are out there early this morning and working hard. Also in Camden County, we've got the ramp from 168 northbound, the Black Horse Pike to 130 northbound, still blocked for construction, and that doesn't clear for about another hour, 15 minutes, Matt.
All right, thank you, Karen. Developing overnight. Rescuers pulled a teenage boy alive from the rubble of a building that collapsed nearly 5 days ago during Nepal's massive earthquake. Crowds roared and cheered as they carried the boy out in a stretcher. An American disaster response team had been working for a few hours to try to free the trapped boy. They did. The death toll has reached above 5,500 people, with more than 11,000 injured.
Police in Trenton are investigating how a 4-year-old boy was left on his school bus all day. Melissa Hawley's son Tyler was supposed to be dropped off at Stokes Elementary School Tuesday morning, but he never got off the bus. He has developmental delays and spent 6 hours trapped inside. The preschooler was left there by a driver and an aide with the Delaware Valley bus line.
I was trying to open the back door and the front door.
And did you have any luck? You could open them or no?
No, I can't.
He had been on the bus for 6 hours. So he had gone to the bathroom for himself. He had nothing to eat, nothing to drink. My son is asthmatic.
A teacher at pickup time spotted Tyler and ran to get the principal. The bus company had no comment. The school superintendent says the district takes safety seriously and admits Tyler Boyer's safety was in jeopardy.
4:54 is the time. All new in the next half hour of Action News. Prison food. As bad as they say it is, some inmates say it nearly killed them. Here are the claims coming from a jail in New York.
And one woman was surprised to come home to a flooded garage, and she was even more surprised to find out what caused it. We'll be right back.
That was the sound of a wildlife worker wrestling with a wild turkey in a house. Nancy Page says she returned to her Rhode Island home last week to find that little guy in her bathroom. The wild turkey had crashed through the window and somehow turned on the sink and left the bathroom flooded. It also left behind its own mess. Repairs are expected to cost thousands of dollars. A wildlife officer caught the turkey outside and released it back to the wild. A Center City car thief got on his hands and knees to sneak past security, but the crawling man didn't realize he was being recorded on surveillance cameras. The garage at 19th and Ludlow Streets got some pretty clear pictures of him making it past the parking attendant's booth early Monday morning. Police say this man stole 2 vehicles. They are still looking for him.
4:57 now. Loved ones gather to remember a Wilmington woman who was gunned down on a neighborhood street. Investigators hope a reward will lead them to her killer.
Inmates at a New York prison are suing the city, claiming they were served food tainted with poison. We'll be back.